And then another time they say, oh, Rwanda, you see, you have influence on M23. By the way, influence just because some of those guys will speak the same language. So that becomes an influence. Okay, but let's assume we have the influence. And I have been asking these people, so, okay, what do you want me to tell these people? Do you really want me? What do you want me? Give me a message to take to these people over whom I have influence. And as I see, you know, they stop fighting. Okay, that one I can do. But what follows that next? Because if I tell them to stop fighting, and they are attacked and killed, who takes the blame? It's not you who sent me to tell them, it's actually me. Meaning I lured the people into, but then in all conscience, they also want me to go and tell people that you should accept being denied your rights and keep quiet because some people, some powers are not happy. So maybe that's what they want me to tell these people. I can't. You never. You know, it happened when we met, you must have seen it, when I met President Tshisekedi in New York around General Assembly. And we had with us President of France, President Macron. At that time, they were telling me, please give these people a message, they leave Bunagana. There is a place they had taken over called Bunagana, the border with Uganda. Otherwise, fighting will continue. I said, okay, I can even transmit your message, just out of politeness. But if I tell them to leave Bunagana and get lost, first of all, where do they go? Secondly, are you going to follow that with addressing their problem they are fighting for? And there was no clear, but anyway, I came back, I sent a message, sent intelligence people to tell them. I said, for the good of the peace process, maybe somebody is thinking about to bring peace, you leave Bunagana as a symbol that you want to have a peace process going on and resolve the problem. As they are about, they agreed with the message I sent to them. In other words, they agreed with me. As they were preparing to leave, they were attacked. There was serious fighting. And then I called up these leaders. I said, but you people, you lied to me. You told me I should transmit a message that these people should leave, and then that will help a process to resolve the problem. Then, little did I know, the intention was actually maybe to attack them when they thought it wasn't going to be the case. So from that time, things have been like that over and over and over and over and over again. These government forces attack. In most cases, they are beaten back. And then there is a loudspeaker everywhere announcing how M23 has been violating ceasefire. You attack, we fight, I push you back, and then I'm the one who violated the ceasefire. This has been what goes on every day. And even with these experts that we have in place, they cannot tell, but that shows it's not that they can't tell what is the truth. It's just that the truth is not what they want. It's not what they like. It's completely different. So Rwanda, while we may be blamed for other people's problems, we are also happy to be blamed for our own problems of trying to defend ourselves, if that is what it means. We will defend ourselves at any cost. There's no question about it. I have told those who are behind all this in a very clear language. They keep asking me the same questions. I keep giving them the same answers. If there is anything that I can compromise on, it has nothing to do with ceding even a millimeter in terms of preserving the security of our country. Absolutely not. So, my friend who asked the question, the answers are obvious, they are known. But in their heads, these other people have their own other way of looking at things. They don't care about us, they don't care about anybody, they care about themselves. If you want to allow yourself to open up, to be crushed, you get crushed, and that's not their business. They really facilitate that. So, let me end up with the wrong story here, but it is an accumulation of, I have been silent for a long time. So I thought I needed maybe to go back into a little bit of the history of the problem. But the facts are clear. It's only those who don't want the facts that have other ways of looking at things. All right. Maybe that answers all the questions you had in mind, but we can open up for more questions.
Your Excellency, before we take more questions from the room, we received a question from a journalist called Charles Onyango Obo. He and 10,000 more are watching live right now online. And he says, you led the African Union reform process and most of its financing mechanisms. Given the failure of AU diplomacy and security interventions in the Horn of Africa, the fiasco the EAC faced in Eastern DRC, the mixed results of the Rwanda process, do you think perhaps AU needs a reform of its political and diplomatic processes? Some have gone as far as calling for the disbanding of the AU's Peace and Security Council and the creation of a new, more effective mechanism. Do you agree? And what reforms, if any, do you think can make change?
Well, on what he said, do I agree? I don't. Because it's not the structure or the form or whatever you have in place that is the problem. It is the people. It's the leaders. It's the people working in those structures and therefore subsequently the countries they come from that are a problem. So how do structures in themselves become a problem? So even if you created another structure, but you have the same people thinking the same way, what are you likely to get out of that? I think Charles must be aware of that. I don't know what really needs to be done. Yes, I was given responsibility by the leaders of our continent to work with others to suggest the reforms that can be made on our continent. I was happy to lead that process. And by the way, I also reached a point, after I had more or less completed the main bulk of what I was supposed to do, I thought we needed maybe to find another person, because when I was seeing some, I mean, you can hear this. We sit in meetings, leaders, I'm talking leaders, presidents, prime ministers, and others. We agree something in a room like this. Suggestions that have come from us. We agree. We put something in place. And then, in the end, nothing works. Do you think it's a problem of the process? It's a problem of the structure? What is the problem? I think the answer is obvious. The problem is us. So in fact, when I even wanted to test that, because when it was just going back and forth like this and that, and we agree something, we don't do it, or we do it halfway, and so that is how I decided. And I told the leaders in the room that, you know what, I've been very happy to serve you, but I think it has come to the time we try somebody else. Maybe before you get tired of me, or before I get too frustrated myself, but to serve the cause of reform, I think we can, here in this room, choose somebody else to lead the process, so that we try different people, different angles of dealing with the matter, and that's how the process went to a different person, the President of Kenya, President Ruto. In fact, in the meeting, they even asked me who I think could be. So I gave them my proposition. All was to try and make a point to me that, I was trying to make a point to these people that we have a problem we need to address. And it's not going to be one person here or one structure there. Collectively, we have a problem because we cannot adhere to even things we have suggested ourselves and agreed and put in place and make them work to serve us well. So suggesting to dismantle this and create this, and I don't think gives us any solution. The problem is in us. We need to, if we want things to work, we need to adhere to what we have agreed, what we think is important for our continent, for our people, and so we just have to keep trying with what we have in place. Yes, if there is a need to change something, sure, you can do that, but you still remain with the problem with not doing what you have agreed, irrespective of whatever changes, other changes you put in place. Right?
Yes.
Yeah, so I don't see that. We need to find some way. I don't know whether, some magic. Whether we need to be saved, we need to, somehow we have to find some cleansing process where we renew ourselves, and we, I don't know, we have to find something. Otherwise, we are really not serving ourselves well.